Back at the cabin, I've had a few issues on the way here. I lost the ATV in a mud hole, had to winch myself out. The rough conditions and the bad weather that we've been having now pretty much all summer. It's just extreme rain all the time and a lot of heat. Now today, it's actually pretty nice. It's hot, but sometimes there's a breeze, so kind of compensates a little bit. You can see my bag is just covered absolutely in mud everywhere. The ATV is disgusting. The trailer is sunk in the mud. I brought some tools to hopefully, if I'm lucky, work on the tin roof for the shed. And I also brought a small sirloin steak that I got at the local butcher. So hopefully I'll be able to start a fire if the wood isn't too humid. Shouldn't be, because I have my nice little wood shed. And might be able to eat on the inside of the cabin. It's a lot cooler in there. The logs really keep the cabin cool, so that's nice during hot temperatures. And yeah, should be nice. I have my 12 volt light set up that I did last video. I didn't have the chance to buy more. Also, they're pretty expensive. They're around $50 to $100 for like 12 lights. So 12 volt systems are pretty expensive. But yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to have one strip, so I'll make do with what I have right now. So yeah, I'll go see if I could find my screws that I left somewhere around the little tree house. Last time that I worked on it, which is, I feel like, months and months ago. I'm not sure when it was, but last video I did. And if I could find those, I actually brought my drill and my little impact driver, and we'll see if I could get at least one panel of tin down on the roof. I have a decent mix of maple and just standard resin wood, so pine or spruce, doesn't really matter. Hopefully the maple will burn longer than the softwood. That's the point, at least. I kind of want a bit of coals. I'll try to get it started with this. Well, that match just broke off and burnt the tip of my finger. That's nice. I got the fire lit and burnt my finger pretty bad. That match messed me up pretty good, but I won't let that stop me from just doing a little bit of progress. I'll be walking back and forth trying to maintain the fire, adding some more hardwood to cook. I might even just burn just old planks that I have here, but I just want coals for the steak. And while I'm walking back and forth, at the same time I'm going to be trying to get some tin on the roof. I have a ladder on the other side, and I'll need to try and bring this big roll that's at my feet of tin up the ladder and onto the roof. The fire is actually dying down, becoming cold, so I'll throw the grill on and hopefully make an edible steak. Like always, I'll go in the little garden and cut some chives out, but as of now I only put 3 screws. I couldn't find my actual tin screws, so I put 3 just standard wood screws through the tin on the roof, and I kind of made it stick out the front more than in the back. And I don't really have a choice because the way I put it on is kind of the way that it stays, because on my ladder it's very hard to get a proper overlap in the front, the back, and on the side. I just don't have room. I wedged the tin in back of my ladder, and it's just not a optimal working area, I guess you'd say. But it's going to be better than what I had before, which is nothing. So I'll try and cut a slice out of the tin that I have left, which I'm not even sure is going to work. So far I'll try to do the left, the right, and then I'll need 2 more slices to go on top and kind of cradle everything. I'll need to figure out something to go around the tree itself, just because it's going to be like 2 to 3 inch gaps on each side. I left room for the tree to grow, as you should always when building around any type of live habitat or material or trees. But yeah, let's throw the grill on there and eat some steak. After that, I'll head back out there and try to do as much of the roof as I can. While the steak is cooking, I just wanted to talk about the little critters that I have living apparently in the logs in the cabin. On the outside, I put some diesel and motor oil on the wood. That's how they used to do it for just centuries, really. Back in the day, it was more of any type of kerosene or lantern oil, what have you. A fuel or oil-based liquid with another type of maybe a dye or whatever. So now these days I use motor oil and diesel 50-50 mix. It's pretty common for people to do if you're on a budget, instead of buying some large quantities of like 5-gallon pails of stain and stuff. You do your oil change on your vehicle and you'll be fine. But I did not do such a treatment on the inside walls, so those are bare, and I haven't sprayed them with anything in a while. I believe I have stuff against ants, but I've been reading comments and people have been telling me that it might be carpenter bees or even some ants that are eating away at the cabin. I had another person comment that it could also be something else that I don't remember. But they did mention that if you stay quiet at night, or even during the day, just make no noise, you could actually hear them munching on the wood, kind of like somebody eating a salad or, somebody eating a salad or like eating a peanut or something. You could hear them just on the wood. So that is actually what's happening. Pretty much since I got the cabin, really, I've been wondering since what the heck is making that sound. But yeah, you guys are giving me some pretty good advice. So, like I told everybody, I looked into it and I'd have to spray the cabin, or there really so far there's like two main spots, but I don't want them to demolish the entire cabin either. So I'd have to spray it down, or even some guy said in the holes that the beetle or the whatever bug it is making, just to spray some oil in there, like WD-40 or even just a bit of gas or something. So that's a possibility, but I'd have to find the holes. I just see massive piles of sawdust. I didn't show you guys, but off camera when I got here, I had my little dustpan again. I filled up the entire dustpan and I threw it out in front of the cabin. So it's a lot of wood for a little critter, little bug, but yeah, it's making not really making me nervous, but I don't want it to get any worse. So yeah, I'll look into that even deeper. If I have to, I really don't want to stain the interior of the cabin. I believe I have a spray against ants, like I said before, that I'll try to spray, but I have no idea what the bug is or even if the treatment I'll do is going to work. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now I'll go ahead and take the steak off the grill. I asked the butcher for a steak. Like I said before, I actually got this from a local place on the way here. So he had some steaks on display. I'm like, well, what's that and what's that? I always buy one or two to eat back at home and to make here. And he said he recommended the sirloins just because people think it's like a cheaper cut. It's super tender. It's even more tender than a T-bone. So he says try it out. You won't regret it. It was like $30 for like two massive steaks, like $32. He says you could eat like 4 people on this thing. Obviously, this just miniature piece I got is just like I said, a steak is like this big. So yeah, I'll have plenty to eat. It is extremely tender. The chives are as good as ever, fresh from the garden. This is ridiculously tender. It kind of just pulls right apart. So good. Especially just a bit of salt to enhance the flavor. And just with just a small amount that you guys saw of spices that I put on there, it's just enough. I put one little capsule on each side. It's awesome. It's a great mix. Nothing compares to this, and I've done the test. I come here, I cook straight on the fire like you guys just saw, and I'll take the same piece of meat and I'll go home and I'll cook it on the barbecue in a pan, what have you. It doesn't matter. The taste isn't the same, the texture, the tenderness, nothing is the same. Brought a fork, but didn't even need it. Ate the entire thing. Just in my hands. It's so good. Man. And for me, it's so much easier to cook on a fire. You could actually see, I guess, the meat, or I don't know. I'll do it on the barbecue in a pan, and I'll mess it up like 80% of the time on the fire. It's just great every time. So, like I said, give it a try if you haven't tried it out. Start a fire in your backyard, where have you. Just a normal little campfire. Just throw some steak on there. It's amazing. Had everything measured out, walk back to the trailer to get my cutting disc, my little Dremel to cut the tin. Everything was good, and then I get there and I open my little tool bag that I'm guessing got beat up pretty bad in the mud hole that I was talking to you guys about in the beginning of the video, because I only obviously brought one cutting disc, and my cutting disc is now a cutting moon. So yeah, I won't be able to do anything with that. It's completely broken. So yeah, once again, the plans aren't working out. My fault. Should have brought multiple of these, but I'm like, only have one. The plans for today, at least, were to only cut one slice on the tin that I had there, which is gonna work. I very roughly measured the other one. It's about 90 inches, so I just put 90 inches on the other one. And then this is where the plan went south, and yeah. So I guess it's going to be for another time. I don't know why nobody, whoever is watching over me doesn't want me to do the freaking roof. Every single time I come here, there's something. I forget something. I don't have the screws. I don't have what I need. The tools break. Every time. So yeah, it's a little bit discouraging, but I'll climb back up the ladder. Just slap in a couple more wood screws, which is exactly what not to do. Just the bad screws to use. But that's what I have. I can't find the other ones. As I was saying, I can't find the good screws that I need to use for the actual tin that has a rubber grommet on there. So I could use nails, but like, it sucks at the tip of the ladder and with a hammer, it just sucks ass. So 2-3 more screws and I'll call it a day after that, because I'm gonna have to go and clean myself off and clean everything off, and I'm still not back yet, so I'll get stuck in the mud hole again and I'll have to winch myself out again, and everything's gonna go bad, like most of the time, but keep on living. So yeah, time to put this away and go screw in some tin. I think I'll call it quits for today. Have to clean everything off. I'll do that off camera. Don't want to kill you guys of boredom. But yeah, I'll try to get the roof done. Hopefully in the coming weeks, before winter at least, if I get all my tools needed to complete it. Obviously a new cutting wheel and just the proper screws and stuff. If I don't forget, That's my problem. I usually forget everything. But yeah, no, I have one side just screwed in with like 6, 8 screws maybe. I'll have to flatten out the front, screw it in well, maybe put in some supports so it stops flicking back up in the wind. But other than that, that side's probably done, so it's a quarter of the way done. So the left side's done, then I'll need the right side, and then I'll need the 2 other pieces. So one piece is in, I'll need 1 big piece and 2 smaller pieces. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do the smaller pieces out of what I have left. If I am, I'm pretty lucky because I'm all out of tin. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next little adventure. Hopefully the ride back isn't too bad. I won't get stuck too often because yeah, I've been here for a good while. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and comment what you guys want to see next. I have a few videos planned, more relaxing stuff, just, you know, cooking, and some people wanted me to bring more rifles and stuff so we could go shooting, and that's great. I love doing that stuff. So I actually brought one today, but I forgot it, so I brought the ammo but no rifle. So it is with me, just not at the cabin. So yeah, that doesn't help. Like I said, super bad memory. So I hope you guys enjoyed and are having a better day than me. I will see you guys next time around at the cabin.